I am a licensed gang counselor through the Federal Bureau of Corrections and have been doing such for probably about 9 years at this point. I've worked with gangs in 87 cities around the country and have been instrumental in working and implementing new programs for communities and schools to help reduce the amount of gang violence that's affecting our nation.
And let him talk to you a little bit about gang ideology.
What a scary picture, what you're looking at right now on the board. If you could go back to that previous point, to look at this picture, this is synonymous of what gang members think and how they view death and all aspects of life. Very scary picture. Let's go into gang ideology and look a little bit and talk a little bit about the ideology and how these individuals think. First of all, the gang ideology is they'll try to make you believe that they're a family or it's an organization or pro-social movement or political action group. There are a lot of different techniques that they'll use. Number one, as far as family, with gang members, they feel that gang replaces family. It provides the basic needs of love, discipline, order, structure, food, shelter, and financial support. And what you have to understand, there are a lot of kids that are out there that are not getting some of the basic needs that they need to have, and because of the fact that they're not getting these needs and those needs aren't being met, this is very attractive to them. All of us need these things. We want love, we want discipline, we want food, shelter, financial support. And if we're not providing these things for these young people will easily gravitate towards the gangs. Gang discipline is something that's very important that you need to understand if you're working with individuals, young people that are involved in gangs. Punishment is not discipline. Punishment is a tool for discipline. And that's the way that they view that, being a tool to control structure and realize and understand, again, young people want structure. They want a sense of belonging, and they want individuals, they want us as adults to be role models to them. Discipline. Talk about gang discipline. We understand discipline from the aspect as being adults. We need to understand what gang discipline is. Attending all gang activities. That means that you're supposed to be at meetings. You're supposed to be at any type of function that's going on that's representing the gang. You have to be there. And if you're not, you're violating their code and you'll be disciplined. Being down for the set. What they're basically talking about when they're saying being down for the set, they're talking about you have to represent. If there's something that's going on that's discrediting the gang, that's discrediting their turf or their territory, you have to be able to represent and go out and do any form of criminal activity, whether it be murder, carjacking, theft, to show that you're down for your set. Recruiting new members. I've been able to, in some of my investigations, been able to find out that individuals are actually giving quotas. They're even told that, hey, you need to bring in X amount of members per month to build the numbers in the gang. And furthering the purpose of the gang. One of the things that you have to do as a gang member, you're supposed to further the purpose of the gang by any means necessary. Gang discipline serves to remind the member where the boundaries are, requiring adherence to those boundaries. It's set up to give some structure, to let them know what the boundaries are, and a lot of young people are wanting boundaries in their lives. Respect equals fear. Gang ideology is weakness is equal to kindness, courtesy, benefit of doubt. And you need to understand that these individuals, the way that they're able to obtain respect is by fear, invoking fear on communities and individuals alike. Now, you start talking about gang ideology, and I'll step out of this so that you can get a clearer picture of this. This is a picture of a Laotian gang, and talking about their ideology about moving across the country and selling narcotics and selling drugs. These individuals originated in California, then they moved to Alabama, and then guess what? Now they're here and they're residents of the state of Florida. These individuals will move. They've left some of the larger cities across the country simply from the standpoint that the abatement tactics by law enforcement and communities that have been empowered have made those areas very uncomfortable for those gangs. So they've left some of the larger cities. They've gone into a lot of the rural areas because when they've gone into the rural areas, unfortunately, some areas, the law enforcement, communities, and school districts have not had the information that they needed to have to deal with that particular situation. One of the things that we attempt to do is get out and train as many individuals as we possibly can about the different techniques of suppressing gangs. The ideology, again, about being an organization. And you've got to be very careful because these individuals are extremely slick. They'll come into your area and they'll say that we're an organization. We're not a gang. They'll explain themselves as a group, that they're there to help members or support members or guidance to new members, and that they're going to get along with everybody, that they are an organization. They're not a gang. They want to come in and they want to help in the particular communities, or they want to volunteer time at schools. You have to be extremely careful and understand that their ideology a lot of times, and it's a mechanism for them to come in under a mask, is to say that they're an organization. One of the slides that you're looking at now, this is an example of that, and the next slide will be as well. They'll come in and say that there are different car clubs or that there are different social organizations, and there are a lot of different names. And one of the things that you have to do is have a partnership with local law enforcement who have regular information and intel on these organizations to know what are some of the titles that they're using to come in to mask what they're actually about. Pro-social movement, and this is something that's going on very rapidly around the country. These individuals are coming in to different areas, and they're saying that they're a grassroots movement, and they're there to help social cause, minority oppression. You have to be very careful and do your homework in finding out exactly what this group's background is and what their history is, because in a lot of the larger cities such as Chicago, Los Angeles, and New York, these individuals are going in and they're using this as a crutch to get into their area, to get set up as some type of nonprofit organization, and to go out then and invoke or do their business. They come in and they talk about assisting impoverished communities. They will get incorporated as a nonprofit organization. They'll attempt to be very vocal. They even hire and train people to apply for grants for them. These individuals are in different gangs across the country are actually setting up funds and taxing other gang members off of the drug sales that they're making and sending individuals to college, teaching them computer skills, teaching them about political science, teaching them different aspects of the law so that they can better assist the gang in their illegal activities. Also as a front for criminal activity. They'll put up candidates for office. They'll do funding. They'll do anything they can possibly do to hinder criminal investigations. And they want injunctions forbidding investigations. And there are some situations that are going on across the nation right now. You have gangs that have gone out and gotten incorporated as a nonprofit organization, or that they are a political organization. And if the law states that a political organization cannot be investigated, then what ends up happening then is that when the law enforcement attempt to go in and do investigations, they're prevented from doing that because of the different laws that are in place. They'll come out with political action statements of endorsement in several different cities around the country. These individuals are formulating political groups such as 21st Century Vote. They're setting up different standards so that individuals in the community will recognize them, and they're actually even trying to put individuals in political positions. The reason that they're doing this, again, for political control of law enforcement. They want control of law enforcement. The slide that's showing right now is an example of what we talked about concerning the slide that's showing right now is United in Peace. This slide is an example of what is going on in the city of Chicago. One of the larger gangs that was in Chicago, the Black Gangster Disciples, decided to formulate a partnership with several of the other gangs to attempt to get votes in different districts in the city of Chicago to get individuals elected into political positions, again, to help impede investigations by law enforcement.